Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Bahashem. All praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders of GMS who rules well. Peace and salutations to the elect. My name is Aina. The title of this video is Judgment Against Babylon. Right, and pretty much had a busy day. I was looking over here at this one big beautiful build, trying to find anything with AI, the RFID chip, or anything like that. I'm still looking, haven't found anything yet, but I don't think I have enough time to do it. I got this word search thing pulled up here, where you can type in anything, and it'll pull up. I think it's RISD. Yeah. So anyway, like I said, I'm searching it up, but I don't have time to really go into it like that. So anyway, I'm in the book of Isaiah 47. We're just going to prophesy against Babylon the Great. I'll grab Jeremiah 28 and 8. It says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evil and of pestilence. Right? And we are prophesying the downfall of Babylon the Great, the coming destruction. Isaiah 47 and verse 1. Here it says, lament for Babylon. In the Bible itself, it says judgment against Babylon, right? Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called kingdom delicate. Take the millstone and grind mill. Uncover thy locks, make bare the leg, uncover the thigh, pass over the rivers. It says, thy nakedness shall be uncovered, yea, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance and I will not meet thee as a man. Right? So it's prophesied that Babylon the Great, will, be seen for who they truly are, the devil. Right? Let me get these precepts right here. This is Nahum 3 and 5. It says, behold, I am against thee, said the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon thy face, and I will show the nations thy nakedness, and the kingdoms thy shame. Right, and that's exactly what's happening here in these last days, right? So Esau Edom is being revealed to be the devil that he is. 2 Thessalonians 2, 6 through 8 says, start at 7. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 7 says, for the mystery of iniquity doth already work, only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Right? I gave you Jeremiah 28 and 8. The spirit of his mouth is the prophet. Right? And then once that's done, you got Amos 8 and 11, where a feminine word will come. Right? And then tribulation upon earth, and then shortly after, Yahweh Shai will come and destroy this devil. Amos 8 and 11, it says, behold, the days come, said the Lord Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh. That's the point. And there will also be famine of bread and water, right? Those are those tribulations that I just was talking about, some of those tribulations, right? So read this again, 2 Thessalonians 2 and 8. And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord Yahweh shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan, with all power and size and lying wonders. It says in verse 4, as for our Redeemer, the Lord Yahweh of hosts is his name, the Holy One of Israel. So like I'm reading my Bible here. Verse 5 says, sit thou silent and get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. It says I will, hey, and let me grab this, because that's the point. This is becoming one of my, I believe it's like 32, 5. Yeah. Isaiah 32 and 5, it says, the vile person shall no more be called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. So Esau is been made to be seen as the person he really is. Since the vile person will speak villainly, and his heart will work iniquity to practice hypocrisy and to utter error against the Lord Yahweh, to make empty the souls of the hungry, and he will cause the drink of the thirsty to fail. It says the instruments also to troll are evil. He devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying words, even when the needy speak it right. So like, I'm gonna look into this one big beautiful bill. Oh, the guys down here. Right, I mean, it's pretty much self-explanatory. His ways are evil. All right. So verse 6 says, I was wroth with my people, I have polluted mine inheritance, and given them into thine hand, and thou didst show them no mercy. Upon the ancient hast thou very heavily laid thy yoke. All right, so what is this? It says, vengeance and vote upon adversaries, right? Who's our main adversary? Esau Edom, the so-called white man, right? And of course, in the rest of these heathen, but Esau Edom had a major role to play in it, right? He laid the yoke heavy upon us. So I'll get Psalms 109 and 14. It says, let the iniquity of his fathers be remembered with the Lord Yahweh, and let not the sin of his mother be blotted out. Let them be before the Lord continually, that he may cut off the memory of them from the earth, because that he remembered not to show mercy, but persecuted the poor and needy man, that he might even slay the broken in heart. It says, and he loved cursing, so let it come upon him, as he delighted not in blessing, so let it be far from him. Right, so Esau he was going to pay, Verse 7, it says, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever, so that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. Right, and that's why he has that shameful spewing, coming upon him now, right? It says their inward thoughts that they will continue forever and ever, roughly paraphrasing, but Most High is bringing a swift end to this devil. Verse 8, therefore hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that saith in thine heart, I am and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. It says, but these two things shall come to be in a moment, and one day the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries, and for the great abundance of thine enchantments, right? Yeah, this. Yeah. All right, Isaiah 14 and 21. It says, Isaiah 14:21, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. Right? And this is against what? Against who? Babylon the Great. Trying to see if it's mentioned here. But we know who's going into captivity, pursuant to Psalms 149. Right, so this is talking about Babylon the Great, and of course the rest of the heathen. Oh, here it is, right down here. It's like it says, Isaiah 14:21, prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. It says, for I will rise up against them, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant, and son and nephew, saith the Lord Yahweh. It says, I will also make it a possession for the Britain in pools of water, and I will sweep it with the bosom of destruction, saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts. right? So Babylon the Great would be totally and utterly destroyed. All right, so going back over here. So I'll start at 8 again. It says, therefore, hear now this, thou that art given to pleasures, that dwellest carelessly, that saith in thine heart, I am and none else beside me. I shall not sit as a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children. It says, but these two things shall come to thee in a moment, in one day, the loss of children and widowhood. They shall come upon thee in their perfection, for the multitude of thy sorceries and for the great abundance of thine enchantments. It says, for thou hast trusted in thy wickedness, and thou hast said, none seeth me. Thy wisdom and thy knowledge, it hath perverted thee. And thou hast said in thine heart, I am, and none else beside me. We did Psalms 15, 16. All right, Slaki. I want to grab that Slaki. Isaiah 47:11, it says, therefore shall evil come upon thee, thou shalt not know from whence it riseth, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Right, and that's pretty much the state Babylon the Great is in now. Everywhere they look, troubles take hold of them on every side. Let me grab Job 18. I'll probably get to the point. Yeah, right here. Job 18:11, it says, terror shall make him afraid on every side and shall drive him to his feet. Right, that's talking about Babylon the Great, and that's the current state they're in. You know, pursuant to Isaiah 19, the Most High has taken the wisdom out of this place. It says, Isaiah 47:12, stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. Right. So the Most High is saying, you know, go ahead and try to heal yourself, you know, fix yourself. What is Jeremiah 51 say? Jeremiah 51:7, it says, Babylon have been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. It says the nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad. Look at what's going on around the world now. It's not nations are upset with Babylon the Great. You know? It says Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed. It says we will have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country. For a judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Right. So everyone knows now that Babylon is out the door. Right. People are asking themselves who's next. Isaiah 47:13, thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly procrastinators, prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Behold, they shall be as stubble, the fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. You grab this. This is Micah 4:1. It says, Micah 4:1. Hold on, actually. Sorry, Malachi. Malachi 4:1 says, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yeah, and all that do wickedly. Who's the most proud? You get Obadiah 1, Esau, Edom. You know, for behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yeah, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble. And the day that cometh shall burn them up, said the Lord Yahweh of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Hey, you know, but it says, but unto you that fear my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and you shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. Right? So ultimately what? The elect will be saved out of this destruction that's coming to Babylon the Great. It says, Isaiah 47:15, thus shall they be unto thee for whom thou hast labored, even thy merchants from thy youth, they shall wander everyone to his quarter, none shall save thee. Right? So everyone gonna flee and leave Babylon to their destruction. Right, Lord willing, you edify from the lesson. I'll say Shalom to the whole elect, which consists of men, women, and children. Shalom.